Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of October 8th, 2023. Now that we've finished week 6, we are officially not quite halfway through the season, but getting kind of close. And we know now what teams are good and what teams aren't. We finally have all the information we need. I think we can decide that. I mean, let's just ramble off some teams who are completely good, guys, who have no flaws. Go for it. Start now.
West Virginia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Perfect. No flaws. That's second in the Big 12, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Because numbers don't mean anything.
Syracuse.
Yes, exactly right. I think Louisville might be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think South Alabama looked good this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Iowa.
Yeah.
5-1 Iowa.
5-1 Iowa. That.
I mean,
I have trouble balancing. Iowa fans are such a weird bunch right now because they do have the joy of 5-1. Like, they feel that in their heart. But the way they're doing it is just so unpleasant. But hey, a win's a win, unless your contract says otherwise.
I mean, we can't forget Lafayette.
Yes.
I mean,
Lafayette might be very good.
Yeah.
It's such a weird. This is a. This is going to be a chalky season. This is going to end up with either Georgia or Alabama winning the title because that's just how these seasons go. As always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I've got Commish, Pitt Girl, Beth, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Commish, how was your weekend?
It was eventful. I did my youth soccer coach fun adventures again.
That's right.
Moving along in the season. We faced a tough opponent in the Rhinos.
Mm-hmm.
The Rhinos were probably playing mind games with us because they were late, and we were anticipating a forfeit. The coach was late. We basically lost a quarter of the game because they were so late. Some of the players were there. We were in talks of maybe just doing a scrimmage, but then they finally arrived, and they just went out to a 3-0 lead like it was nothing. Just mind games.
How does that even happen?
I think our kids, it's probably on me. The kids may have let their guard down, anticipating a forfeit, and there were rumors swirling about a scrimmage instead, and just let the kids run around. But no, the Rhinos showed. We lost a quarter.
Okay.
I feel like that's got to be worth a goal or something, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit on our heels. Our rotations were a little bit messed up. I couldn't sub in all the kids to make sure they get 50% of the time.
Gotcha.
And I mean, we're going into the fourth quarter, looking down. The third period, since we missed one.
Yeah.
We're looking down on a barrel of a 4-1 deficit going into the third/fourth. I had to rally the kids. Inspiring speech. 3 goals unanswered in the fourth or third or whatever. And we tied the game, but I am going to count it as a win because I feel like the other team's coach, the Rhinos coach, knew that he did not have the depth to mess with the Sabertooth Tigers. He just could not hang with it. So he needed to shorten the game in any way he knew how. Mm-hmm. And, getting a quarter removed, and, it was a 4-4 tie after 3 periods. And if you forfeit a quarter, I believe that's worth a goal. So we're taking credit for the win.
You should. Although no one keeps score.
No, nobody keeps score, but the kids do. The kids will be pointing at you and be like, "Hey, it's 4-1." I'm like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. Just have fun, kids." They're like, "No, it's 4-1. We're down 4-1." Like, just relax, focus, have fun.
Beth, how are you?
Just trying to keep Podcat under control. That's how I am.
I love it. Podcat's always welcome on the podcast.
Don't tell him that.
But he is, though.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
I am good. It is feeling very autumnal now here in central PA. I drove up into the mountains a couple times for my actual job this week, and the leaves are starting to turn, and it is nice and chilly in my neck of the woods now. Balmy 64 degrees in my apartment. So.
How close are you to peak leaf?
In this area, it's going to be a little bit yet. Most
We're
of the leaves are still
8-9 days out.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
would say that we're a little bit further out than that. Maybe 2 weeks out from peak leaf.
Okay.
Commish, how close are you to peak leaf in San Antonio?
What? Does that happen?
Exactly right.
Does that happen in San Antonio?
Yeah. No, of course not. It's when the palm trees start to get a little gross because they don't have water anymore. Yes.
It basically, I think the trees that we have in a yard are like oak trees, so they never lose their leaves, and they're just constantly green. And then I think our neighbor has one where I don't even know what type of tree it is, but the leaves fall off of that one. Nowhere near that. I think the high today was 78, which was phenomenal.
It was beautiful up in Dallas.
It was just like we're getting. I think we're in this fake fall right now.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's going to warm up, but I'm looking at the forecast. I hope we don't see 90 for the rest of the year, but let's hope. We're hoping.
Commish, you said you wanted to talk about the poll a little bit because some folks, some of our newer followers, let's say, don't quite get what the poll is about.
So this is a little bit of we got some wind of some feedback about certain teams being ranked in our poll, and again, this is like 1,100 plus ballots of people that follow us, and maybe their first taste of a Sickos Committee poll, which we're over what? We're over 110,000. Jesus Christ!
Yes, we've
Yeah,
passed 110.
We're too big. We're too big. So we're getting like I don't want to say like we're not mainstream, but we're a large Twitter account, which is ridiculous.
We're too big to fail. We did it.
No,
Yeah.
we're definitely not too big to fail.
Yep. Nope. We can never fail again.
Can never fail again.
I can't wait for the feds to give us a bunch of money when we do something stupid.
I'm
I
excited
can't
for
wait.
that.
Perfect.
Hey, venture capital, we are here for your taking.
So we got wind of some feedback that some folks were not happy that Wazoo and Oregon State were ranked in the top 10 of our poll because their records are good. In my mind, just doing this account since its inception, it's a good thing to be ranked in our poll because it shows that we're watching you no matter what you do. And I feel like it's a show of like solidarity with Wazoo and Oregon State. Like we're gonna watch you, we're gonna like publicize you, we're gonna tweet about you. We care about you, whether it's just like them being left out at this crazy realignment, which is incredibly wrong. Whether it's again watching them play each other for what they dub the Pac-2 championship. If there's something that like rubs you wrong about the poll, or you think it's like poisoned with irony or something like that, it's not. It's not at all, and you're gonna believe what you want to believe. It's not though. I mean, really, it's fascinating to watch these teams. I mean, just look at LSU at 25. They're incredibly wild. They don't have much of a defense. They score a lot of points. Their games go off the rails. That's a little sickos. Colorado's up there in the top 5. Big hoopla, publicity, crazy. You got your standard Iowa and Nebraska like stalwarts of this poll because I mean, again, they have a lot of fans, they have really high expectations, and the fans that follow us like understand what we're doing. We're not laughing at you. We're here to just like support you and enjoy the ride of your team no matter what they do, because that's what most fans are of your college football teams. You're going to enjoy the ride. You hope to enjoy the ride, at least. Sometimes it's not a great ride, but we're here to like provide you with some sort of catharsis. We're trying to provide you with some sort of fun. We're getting like pushback that we don't talk about how bad USC's defense is. I mean,
I'm more than happy to, y'all.
If you listen to the
podcast,
podcast,
more than happy to.
If you listen to the podcast, I made a reference and said that their defense is the Achilles heel. When I talk about Iowa, I say they have a national championship winning defense. The problem is the other side of the ball doesn't match. And when things like that don't match, it's kind of like when you're wearing 2 different socks. You're wearing one really, really bright colored sock, and you're wearing either like a black sock or a white sock. It just doesn't fit, and you can't help but stare. So that's a little bit of the metaphor. If we annoy you, if you think we're the worst thing that's happened to college football, or something like that, I saw a meme where it was the Simpsons thing is like a world without the Sickos committee, and it's like the rainbow thing.
That made me laugh.
I
like that post from the account.
I mean, again, just block us and move on. I mean, if you want to quote tweet and hate, fine. But if we're the worst thing that's happened to college football, okay.
I'm impressed. I would be so impressed.
That has happened to college football. I really consider that I would really strongly suggest that you look into college football history and then like think about stuff for a second.
Yeah, like that. You've told us you're new here.
We're by far the worst.
I don't get it. I mean, really, it's just we're here for fun. Like Nevada's ranked 19th, right?
Yeah.
They're fun. Like they fumble like 4 times and Kansas can't recover it. They play late.
They had some great moments.
They played it. I mean, they got their turnover trident stolen by Texas State. If whatever the record is, we don't care. Like at the Sickos committee here, we throw out the records. We don't care. We support the teams no matter what. We're here. We're watching everything. We're watching FAU and Tulsa and Boca, just like a flooded game. We're watching stuff like that. We're watching things that not every fan watches. And again, we are the Sickos. Like we are the Sickos committee. Like we're not calling your team like awful or anything like that. It's us. It's what we want. And again, if you're upset with the poll, we had like nearly 1,200 people vote. Get mad with them.
The thing I really enjoyed was to go back to, it's a good thing to be on our poll before this weekend when Georgia Tech, we'll talk about that. But Georgia Tech fans were like sad because they were like, we're not even bad enough to be on the poll. We are just like we're not sickos in a fun way. We are just so dead center mediocre, and that's like the kiss of death.
Georgia Tech, I have good news for you.
Y'all are back in the game now, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, okay? I'm looking forward to my November poll because they're probably going to get a slot on the 10 slot ballot for sure.
Good God.
But I mean, the fact of the matter is that we enjoy watching things that are unconventional. That's the whole thesis of what we are doing here. And I would posit that as a fan of a team that is objectively bad, second in the Big 12, sure, but bad.
You keep saying that and it becomes less and less true every week.
No, it's really true. Like I seen to this team. It can provide you, if you are the fan of a similarly troubling team, a fun way to watch a product that can be ugly on the field. It's like there is a beauty in teams that are able to achieve, a college football level of perfection. And I would argue that there's way more of beauty in teams that just roll the chaos dice constantly. And that's okay.
We have unconventional tastes.
Yes.
That's okay.
My desires
if you don't have unconventional tastes, there are a lot of other podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, to me, ESPN and Fox and everyone that kind of has a very financially vested interest in college football is very, very clear about how they want you to watch the game and what they want you to watch.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And they're making this more and more evident with the recent realignment, but it's always been at least somewhat of the forefront, right? There are certain teams, certain games that get a lot more talk on game day than others. There are certain teams just in terms of getting onto television, getting onto broadcasts, getting into premium spotlights, right? I mean, think about when Coastal and BYU played each other. They played that game on ESPNU. They didn't play it on, a big network. They played it on ESPN.
I forgot about that. In my mind, that was like on ABC at Saturday.
No, it wasn't.
7:00.
It wasn't. It was on ESPNU, a channel that, has better distribution than the Pac-12 network, but still, not a place you would put something you spotlighted. And so to me, Sickos is about spotlighting things that don't fit into the big spotlight that, ESPN, Fox, whoever's controlling these things, scheduling these things, wants to spotlight. So it could be anything from something that they can't really spotlight because, they have relationships with, like, for example, Iowa, right? Fox and, at least for now, ESPN have relationships with Iowa. They pay a lot of money to broadcast Iowa football. So they really can't cover Brian Ferentz and his quest for 325 points in a way that would satisfy those broadcasting deals and those requirements. And so that might be kind of a sicko story in that way, and that is not something that can get a lot of shine from the important people, and we're here to give it shine. It could be a really good G5 team that, again, just doesn't really fit into what they want to broadcast, what they want to have front and center. That's something that we do. We want to have it front and center.
One thing I wanted to let you know, I know we do the ads on the Blitz, the college football Blitz with Learfield.
Yes.
We do the ads, and we were in talks with them to try to sponsor like games and like maybe have a cut in for like the game of the week, but we got a lot of pushback for that. And so I was just like, well, fine. Give us the weird plays. We don't want to offend any athletic directors that may be listening to the Blitz or anything like that. Give us the weird plays. Let's sponsor safeties. Let's sponsor doinks. Let's sponsor let's sponsor block punts. Let's sponsor, like
scores of 8-0.
Yeah, let's sponsor weird scores. If like a weird score comes in, it was like this weird score alert is sponsored by the Sickos Committee. So again, we're not necessarily part of the fabric of the game. We fit in those weird cracks that nobody really wants to cover, and that's what we're there. We are what is that thing where the flex shield?
Yeah, we're flex tape.
We're Sicko Shield.
The flex tape of college
The
football.
flex tape of college football. I've been watching ACC Network too much.
Oh, yeah. Best commercials.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, to me, it irks me. Like, I mean, when somebody just is like, I'm sorry, I apologize for whatever this Iowa fan is, but I had the quote tweet and I was upset. When he was just like, we never talk about how bad USC's defense. We need to rag on them more. And then I did a long thread about that, of them not being a great defense. I think the parentheses, you got laugh out loud, so quirky, like, hit me. And so I had to say that. I was just like, fine, you got me. You got me upset. But it's just, look.
Sickos Committee holding up Spork.
Seriously, we are the weird side of things. We want to see the weird stuff. We want to have the fun stuff. I'm watching the Maine Black Bears against Richmond. I'm watching Maine throw a freaking flea flicker back into their end zone. Like, they run it on like the 10, and the running back tosses it to the quarterback just standing in his own end zone, throwing a flea flicker. I'm watching stuff like that. I'm watching Brown and Rhode Island the entire freaking game.
I'm so sorry that game was on top of Red River, because Red River is one of the only games of the year that I ever single screen, just because it is emotionally a weird one for me. But I saw those updates and I was like, oh my god, the Rhode Island Brown game was like, I
had to write about it, like, in the synopsis or whatever. The game was nuts, and the second half it started raining. It was crazy. Stuff like that. That's what we want to cover. Like, you're not going to see dive cut into whatever game, the main game. Here's a highlight of Maine and Richmond. You're not going to see stuff like that.
Yeah, not unless they're about to get their sixth safety.
Right. I mean, something has to be so completely bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, you break math, you have our attention.
I am so excited to talk breaking math later on today, Beth, about Teal. I'm so excited.
Sheesh.
I brought the receipts, and I'm so excited to
bring those receipts.
Oh God.
Well, let's get going and moving on the pod, and let's get off the soapbox of the poll, and we appreciate everybody's votes. The 1,200 votes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we couldn't do it without you. And the ones who vote and give us like the best also receiving votes, they rock. I think there was one where we may have missed something of like Penn field hockey or something.
Yep.
I apologize.
We are imperfect as fuck, and we will always be imperfect as fuck.
I apologize for that, and shout out Penn field hockey. I believe it's Penn field hockey. I'm just going to shout it out on the pod because we missed it. Now, you're not on the poll on the paper, but now you're forever recorded in the podcast format.
So we'll clump the weeknight games together because we have our first Conference USA. What did we say? Inexcusably awesome.
That's right. It is
Was our
inexcusably awesome.
Conference USA? You're welcome to any of this stuff, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
The games were on Wednesday: New Mexico State 34, FIU 17, Jacksonville State 45, Mitsu 30, and then on Thursday we had Western Kentucky 35, La Tech 28, and 21, Sam Houston State 16. I will start by pointing out Sam Houston again, so goddamn close. Like they are this team I am emotionally attached to now.
Me too.
The last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it's just
I want this so badly for them.
looked like they had won the Super Bowl when they beat Sam Houston State, and Sam Houston State looks so fucking sad because it was just a little bit short.
Hugs for Sam Houston.
Yeah, they're both great teams. The crowd, there were some choices in that crowd. The Mountain Dew dude is one of my favorites. I'll post him in chat, but he's also in the show notes.
Our very own caffeinated Krang.
Right. There were some choices in that crowd.
I'm sorry. My weatherman came out of me, and I had to make a dew point joke. So,
I mean, the dew point in there is
it's way high.
way high. It's nice and foggy.
The worst.
I mean, you can't see him in there, so.
The worst word I have learned this summer for weather is wet bulb temperature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wet bulb is the worst combination of sounds.
Moist bulb.
Moist bulb temperature. Hey Beth, I'm gonna go check.
Beth,
I'm gonna go check my moist bulb.
Oh.
Ooh.
No. I wish you hadn't.
We need Sicko's HR is gonna come talk to me now. Fuck.
Just another podcast.
Sicko's HR. Moist. Arthur's writing down this for a potential title.
Exactly what he fucking said.
Moist,
oh God.
Moist bulb alert.
But like all these games were a lot of fun. I'm really, like I said last time, I think that Conference USA fans, I get that you don't want to show up for a Wednesday game. It's hard to get there if you don't live local. I totally get that. Mm-hmm. For what we do, for like getting football on TV, I like this for y'all. I know it's just a year-long experiment. We'll see if it works or not, but I have fun.
I hope it gives you 1 million eyeballs. Yeah. Like, I hope it works like crazy and that, the fans can find a way to make it work. I know it sucks. Like when the Big East was really struggling, we decided we were all going to own Thursday. And I know a lot of us had weird drives coming back for Fridays at work for a long time there, but it helps and it got eyeballs and it really helped us and hopefully it'll help you guys.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We tried our first attempt at branding, the inexcusably awesome. We got some good replies to that one. So I don't know if they're gonna, go with that and me just searching words with CUSA in the middle of them.
I think it's gonna always be inexcusably something.
Inexcusably.
I like inexcusably is the thing.
Okay.
But then we just need inexcusably romantic.
Oh.
Inexcusably tawdry.
Oh.
Inexcusably I don't know.
I mean, are we starting a side business doing like Amazon romance novels about CUSA? Because that's what this sounds like.
I think so. I'll do the audiobooks. It's fine. With my beautiful silky voice that people love.
Oh yeah. We go to Bowling Green.
On Friday night, I will talk about where I was later on, but let it be known that I was at a bar in Dallas, and I had to go up to a bartender and go, "Hey, can you please put on Nebraska, Illinois on the center TV?"
Hell yeah!
And other people in the college football media world were like, "I can't believe you did that." So
I mean,
we are on brand.
That's exactly what we do.
I mean, it was the game of the week.
That's how we do.
It was. I felt like I had to do it. It was Kansas State, Oklahoma State. It was Nebraska, Illinois, and it was Harvard, and I forget who they played. Those are the three screens. Those are the three games on. Kansas State 21, Oklahoma State 29. Oklahoma State is still assy. Kansas State just could not make this game work, and that was frustrating for me to watch.
You're not willing to downgrade them to assish at this point?
No, I refused. Although Cowboy Batman did do it for me. I love Cowboy Batman.
Pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I love that.
He's got good hair.
Oh yeah, he does have like luscious locks.
I am just K-State just had so many chances to try to come back and win this because they're down like 26-7.
Yep.
And they get a touchdown. It's 26-15. They get the 2, right? They fail on downs. Another touchdown. I'm like, okay, maybe here we go. Interception, fail on downs again. It's just, it had to be incredibly frustrating for a K-State fan. But for Oklahoma State, I mean, they played really clean. No turnovers. They held the ball well. I mean, 35. They didn't really get too many yards, but they were very balanced. Oh, actually, they outgained K-State. I apologize for that. But K-State threw 3 interceptions, which basically killed them in this game. And maybe there's a little Stillwater magic still alive. And guess what? Oklahoma State is 3-2, and K-State is 3-2. Just food for thought.
But okay.
Food for thought.
I didn't realize there was still a Stoops left on the Oklahoma roster until this weekend, by the way. I was very surprised to hear that there are still Stoops in the system.
There must always be a Stoops in Stillwater.
That's right. Well, I mean, Norman, but yes.
No.
Right? I mean, it's right down the road.
Nebraska 20, Illinois 7.
It's all the same. All towns in Oklahoma are the same.
All the same. Tulsa, same thing.
Same thing.
The Nebranois
Nerve noir.
was absolutely exactly what we needed. I would like to tell you about the drive chart for the second half. It is punt, fumble, field goal, punt, miss field goal, downs, fumble, punt, interception, fumble, downs, end of game. God.
See, the best part about Nerve Noir is that it's not only refreshing, but it will also peel paint and take rust off of your pipes.
I remember living in Berlin. I got a Beaujolais. It was only €1.50.
Oh,
for like a $7.50 a bottle.
Yeah,
because it was like of that year. It was real fresh.
Well, that's what Beaujolais Nouveau is. It's always like really fresh wine. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but this was just it tastes like someone had poured paint thinner into a bottle of grape juice.
Nice.
As God intended.
And I remember drinking it on a subway, like in a brown paper bag, going to a rave in East Berlin. And
that sounds right.
That describes the year 2003 for me. That was the night some young gentleman bought me a drink, and I kept chatting with him, and he kept buying me drinks, and it was all nice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm. One night in Berlin.
Oh, that reminds me of the Orange Bowl.
There you go.
One night in Berlin. Okay.
Berlin, Miami, they're the same.
Close enough.
This game, the first half was what we figured it would be. The second half, though, was art. Just beautiful art.
All right. So I just want to just shout out to, there's a couple of pictures here, which
they're all great.
There's so many the screenshots. The fan being upset after the call, which there was a punt that looked like it went off the back of a Nebraska player, but it was actually off the arm of the Illinois player who was like tangled up with him and blocking him. And so they originally ruled it a fumble, and then they reviewed it and they're like, no, it just clearly hit the Illinois player's arm and bounced off that way. And so the kid's face, he's wearing like a beanie. It's great. Throw that in the podcast chat because it is just, it's amazing. And then everybody had a theory that was the Nerve Noir kid all grown up, and he just picked the Illinois side.
That's
I don't think it was.
If I were the Nerve Noir kid all grown up, I would have picked neither of these teams. I would just emotionally go someplace else with my fandom.
And then
it's either that or he's about to break into Dragostea Diente in 4 seconds.
Oh yeah, this is the Numa Kid, absolutely.
This game was phenomenal because if you were going one way, you're going into 20, 25 mile an hour winds, and you're not going to be able to pass the ball. You're not going to be able to kick the ball deep or punt the ball deep, and it just one side just was tremendously disadvantaged. Nebraska, they get a touchdown going into that wind. They get a touchdown. They made a field goal into that win too, which is fantastic. It was a shorter one, but still. And then they kick it off, and the winds just hold it up in the air, and it just drops in between 4 Illinois players.
It was in free fall.
It was in free, and then the Cornhuskers get it, and then they score 2 touchdowns in 10 seconds. And so I made the joke from Office Space, the guy 2 touchdowns, 2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
two
I thought
touchdowns
that
in 10
meme
seconds.
was done very well.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if anyone's
thought
gonna
it
get
worked.
this or not, but that's the first thing that popped in my head. It was ridiculous. The second half was just everybody was just like, "Oh my god, what is going on here? Make it stop!" Matt Rule called his last timeout with a 11:50 left, and I
just like
I
so much
I
time.
made a
That's a
remark.
choice.
I made a remark. I was like, "Oh god, let's hope this doesn't go to buy." And all the Nebraska fans were like, "Shut up! Don't do this to us." And then the next play they fumble, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna stop tweeting."
Yep.
So I like hide from the keyboard, run away, put the phone away. Nebraska, I am so glad you won that game, because if you'd have blew that game, I didn't know. I'm so glad Nebraska won that game. Sorry, Illinois. I am glad Nebraska did not blow that one. They tried, but they did not.
We head now to Purdue, Iowa. Iowa 20, Purdue 14. Brian Ferentz gets the W. Iowa is 5-1, but remains behind his drive to 325. He needed, let's see here. He needs to be at 150 this week, and he is at 131. Now, interestingly enough, there is one other team in the country that has the exact same number of points per game.
No way.
In total points, and it is Iowa State.
Perfectly balanced.
They are
as all Iowa should be.
They are in a hell together. It is. I'd like to let me.
They're the same.
Yeah, don't say that too loud. They're
But different.
emotionally.
But different.
I'd like to talk about teams that are around them in terms of total points.
Okay.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna list a team real fast. I'll give you guys just higher or lower where they have scored more or fewer points than Iowa and Iowa State per game. Is Northwestern above or below the Iowa line?
Below.
I would say below.
Oh, hold on.
No thoughts, just vibes.
I'm gonna say above.
They're above 22 points per game versus Iowa's 21.8.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Indiana.
Okay. Indiana scored a lot against Indiana State.
Above.
I'm gonna take the under here.
I'm taking the under.
Is below 20.8 versus Iowa's 21.8.
Okay.
I got two more for you. Pitt.
Oh, that's mean.
No, but it's fair. Under. Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
No, I'm gonna say over. They played like Wofford, and they put up like 50
Yeah,
something.
they scored
Over.
a fair amount on Wofford, and they scored more than I would have expected on UNC. It might be over, but if it is, it's not very much.
23.4. They are over. Over 21.8 of Iowa. And
You've crested Mount Iowa.
and the last one. Minnesota.
Ooh.
Under, I think.
So Minnesota put up 13 against Nebraska and won that one.
They put up 7
They put up.
in their loss to Michigan yesterday.
It was only 7. I thought they got 10, but okay.
Did they? Last I saw it was 7.
I don't know. I
Not enough.
only thing I had to say about that game was Jug, and that's it.
Mhm.
But,
that was a board now game for me.
I'm gonna say under.
It's under by 0.1. 21.7 versus Iowa's 21.8.
Yeah.
So Big Ten teams scoring fewer points per game than Iowa. That's Minnesota, Michigan State, Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska.
5.
That's a lot.
5.
That's more than you would think.
It's nearly the entire Big Ten West, except
Fucking surprise.
Yeah, but I know there's Big Ten East teams in there. Don't yell at me.
So there we go, Iowa fans. We are dragging other people down too. Don't worry.
Do it.
The fun fact for me was that this is from Matt Benson on Twitter.
Yeah.
This was Kirk Ferentz's 307th win at Iowa and the first with no completions to a wide receiver.
I loved that so much.
I enjoyed that tweet. I enjoyed that quote tweeting it and said via Matt Benson. We followed him because he was one of the folks that we tweeted to see if any Iowa followers were still at the Nevada Iowa game that was in the weather delay.
That's right.
And I was like, he was one of the, I think we followed 3 or 4 Iowa fans, and we still follow him. And he was one of those, and I wanted to give him credit, and I, instead of just retweeting it, I quote tweeted it. And but him, I was like, why did I do that? And the LSU Missouri game broke my brain.
Yep.
I'll get into that a little bit later. But
Oh, you and I were both just like
Jesus
everything
Christ.
you tweeted was fucking
It
wrong in
was
that
just
game.
wrong. My God, LSU Missouri, why did you do this to us?
Also, I've yet to find video of this, but apparently at the game there was a problem. There was a hot dog gun malfunction with Hawkeye's gun, and it was separating. The hot dogs were separating midair.
Yeah,
like they were coming unwrapped, and wieners and buns were just like flying.
Yeah, that was
like
from,
independently.
That's from
like Kobayashi style.
That's from Austin McClellan. He's in our Discord. He's a patron, and we also follow him. So he was another one of the folks that we followed because they were still at the game in that weather delayed Iowa-Nevada game. So, this is how you get inside intel by watching Iowa. You just follow a bunch of Iowa fans. Shout out to Heavens. Shout out to Hawkeye Elvis. Shout out to all the Iowa fans. This is how we get the Iowa intel that we love so much.
I'm incredibly sad that we don't have video evidence of the hot dog shelling. And by shelling, I don't mean like pelting people with hot dogs. I mean literally shelling them from their casing like peanuts.
I mean, it was
a hot
kind of
dog
both,
shucker is what we need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, dang it. It was right there too.
The problem with hot dogs is that, they come together. What I really want is separately. This would be a great way to...
Oh, you just Joey Chestnutted them.
Exactly
Starting
right.
the most pretentious hot dog bar with deconstructed hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I like it.
Ooh, add that to our business idea list.
With some bread foam.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's all fun and games, but I suggest a bar/kids birthday party area. And fucking Commish is immediately like, that sounds like a bad idea.
It is an awful idea. And why would you do that to yourself?
liability insurance is a thing.
Yeah.
Not where we live.
Why would you want to be?
Yeehaw.
Why would you want to be around like that many other people's kids?
No, that's why you hire. That's why you hire teenagers to run the thing.
Sure.
We don't go there.
Sure. Okay.
That's the
We don't.
point.
We're just like, what do they call that? Like the
turnkey operation.
The turnkey operation. But yes, no, I'm not doing that. Get me out of here.
Northern Illinois 55, Akron 14. We did not see the undercuffler.
No. And the broadcast was shocked that he wasn't playing. So I wonder if undercuffler got suspended off the field again.
He's got too much Akron in him.
Got too much Akron in him. I don't know what, but it was weird.
The real Akron hammer.
I mean, it was 7-7 at one point, and then and then
it wasn't.
They went the fuck off. My God, NIU just went insane. I think the next score that Akron got was after they blocked the extra point of NIU when it was 41-7. So I don't know what happened. I feel bad for Akron. Just so many injuries this year, and I don't think the undercuffler would have made a difference in this game.
Oh, disagree.
Okay.
When you have the undercuffler on the field, things just change.
I mean, he's a calming presence, but they just had him with the clipboard and the hat on, and they didn't indicate he was injured. I have no idea what happened. He was just
leadership on the sidelines, coach on the field.
I am gonna laugh if like Jeff Undercuttler Jr. winds up being like a coach of like an FCS team.
Oh yeah,
because
he follow his career everywhere.
He played at Albany for like a year, which is it'd be funny if he goes back to be the Great Dane's head coach. We will watch your career with great interest, Jeff Undercuffler Jr.
This was our game day shout out this week. By the way, whoever is listening to this podcast that works for ESPN or Pat McAfee, thank you, because
hi,
because the shout out was about the undercuffler and Akron.
Yeah, it was the super dog of the week, and oh my God, we apologize, Pat McAfee.
Our ears perked up, and we were just like, what?
We all got tagged. We're like, what the hell is going on?
Great.
Right. But thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it because apparently we're undefeated. I mean, we haven't played anybody, so we're
That's how you got undefeated, though.
That's
right. Also,
yeah.
RIT football undefeated since 1978.
That's correct.
Sickos ain't played nobody.
Sickos ain't played nobody, but we've been on Feinbaum too, Paul. Jesus Christ.
14 to 39. This was just Baylor might be the worst in the Big 12 this year. Like Houston and Baylor are neck and neck for worst.
Thank God.
Oh, that's weirdly satisfying, honestly.
Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they play this year? They do play this year, November 4th.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Putting that on the calendar.
Just circle that one right there.
This was just Baylor looking. Man, I don't know what's going on in Waco. I don't want to know what's going on in Waco.
Does anyone want to know what's going on in Waco?
It was.
Last time I found out what was going on in Waco, it was a problem.
Yeah, that's not good. But I just want to tell you how many times that crazy mustard Baylor, which threw me off when the game came.
Oh, this game was fucking just okay. Let me find a picture of the game itself.
Texas Tech fans were like, Baylor didn't want us to wear our all red jerseys, like ketchup versus mustard. I was like, oh my comma. Like Baylor wouldn't let Texas Tech have fun. Allegedly, I'm just taking this from Twitter, folks. So I don't know.
Putting the uniforms in the chat so everyone can see this nightmare. Baylor went with the all yellows.
All yellows.
I'm legally not permitted to comment.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you all have done some crimes to this color. This is bad.
Hey, no, it's beautiful.
Does Pitt have an all yellow jersey?
We love us a good gold rush.
Right.
Basketball occasionally does all yellow, and I think basketball all yellow is fine.
Hold up, put it on my list. All yellow Pitt jersey mock-up. Got it.
No, thank you.
I just want to say
all gold Pitt jersey mock-up.
Well, I mean,
no, thank you.
They did that in basketball for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all yellow ones for basketball now too that are nice enough.
Yeah.
But not for football. No, thank you.
No, Doozy doesn't like that. I just want to mention how many times Baylor failed on downs in scoring territory here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They failed on downs 5 times.
But you know what? They went for it.
Yeah, they did.
You encourage that.
They were not that great, though. Poor Baylor.
Well, Jordan, did you just willingly post a picture of the West Virginia
I did.
all yellows
I did.
with
So
the
did you.
font that makes you angry?
Yeah, no, this font. I fucking hate this font.
It's ugly. The 25 is so bad.
The fact that
Look
the 2 and the 5 are mirrored images of each other makes me so angry. I am just, oh my God, this is my Rorschach test.
Look, the void is staring back at you.
It's a heart. It's an upside down heart, and that's all I see.
With feet.
Feet.
Okay, God, yeah. Anyways, oh, fuck this. Boston College 27, Army 24. Army, yeah, you almost were there. You were so close.
Yeah, I watched a lot of this game, and I really thought that Army was just going to sit on BC for 4 quarters, and they didn't. And then they almost won the game anyway, but not quite. Also, it was pouring for a lot of this game.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was very
Every time they cut to the stands, like people were doing push-ups in like puddles of water.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it was like, you know, like a bunch of Army cadets who were like, look at us out here building character.
In the like great coats because it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet they all smelled like socks by the end of the night.
Who found this picture of all the old mascots?
I did. So I learned from watching this game because I feel like there aren't a lot of games at Army that get like broadcasted pretty widely. So I had not watched a game at Army. But Army has mascots on top of the mule. They have mascots for each of the companies within the Corps of Cadets. And they are just there in the stands in costume with the rest of the cadets.
Yeah, I remember watching ULM.
Like Fish Dude and Bird Guy.
Yeah, I was watching ULM play at Army like the past couple of years or whatever. And yeah, I noticed all these folks, and they do this all the time. It's crazy. I love it.
ODU 17, Southern Miss 13. I still don't know what to think about either of these fucking teams, y'all.
I
mean, this game was Southern Miss 10-0 lead in the first quarter, and all they could manage was another field goal. ODU, really not much of it seemed like a defensive struggle. Like both teams apparently have really good offenses, but it was the opposite of what you thought it was going to be. The over under was like 56.5, and they only made it to 30. So yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Red River. Oklahoma 34. Sure? Yes, Oklahoma 34, Texas 30. First off, I want to say hi to our friends at Home Field. I went down to the W in Dallas, got to hang out with the Home Field folks, got some free drinks. Thank you very much. And then got to see our good friend Richard Johnson from Split Zone Duo. He hung out at the bar. I also ran into some other folks who had heard of us, which is always fun.
Oh,
I gave out some stickers.
That's scary. Hey, we've heard about you, the Sickos Committee.
Right. Well, I was trying not to be coy about it. I was like, oh, you might have heard something I do online, and I had the sticker in my pocket, so I pulled it out, and they were like, oh, I know you guys. One of the guys, I won't mention his government name. He was like, you guys have a podcast? I was like, we're very bad at advertising this, but yes, we do. So I hope he starts listening.
I hope you start listening because we're horrible at promoting ourselves.
This was where I was sitting at the bar at this very fancy Dallas hotel and asked for Nebraska, Illinois to be put on the main screen. It was wonderful.
God, our brand is so strong.
I don't. Dallas fancy is so fucking weird. Like dress. I was wearing jeans and a Henley, so I looked like a geography teacher, like going out for a drink.
What is a Henley?
It's
Henley.
a short sleeve sort of like
buttons.
3 big button. It's like 3 buttons, like a polo button, but without the collar. And so I was sitting in the bar like this with sneakers on. Dudes walking in like their Texas gear and shorts with their dates who were dressed entirely to the nines. The ladies dressed, in the fanciest skirts, dresses with the highest heels, and their guys like in, jerseys and cargo shorts.
Men do better.
That's so downtown Dallas. Like there are restaurants around here that have, like dress codes. But I always see people in there wearing jerseys and shorts, like a Mavs jersey and like cut off.
I mean, that happens in Pittsburgh too, because as we've established, a Steelers jersey is formal wear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you pair it with a nice fascinator.
So I did that, and I got a Texas shirt. I got a new one from Home Field. Very excited about this. Script Texas, it looks great. Then I settled in to watch Red River. The first 6 minutes was insane. We had Quinn Ewers throwing an interception on the first drive, but it doesn't lose his shit. He calms down. It's good. Then he threw another interception on the second drive at the Oklahoma 13. Okay. But then Texas blocks a punt into the end zone for a touchdown. The first 6 minutes were basically just pure distilled down sickos that I was snorting with my entire face. And it was amazing. I was just...
You are Elmo with his face in the pile of flour.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Just line after line after line. And this whole game was just frantic, chaotic. It was great. Brett Venables at halftime before we went in said, we embrace the chaos. Welcome to the committee, Brett. Like, welcome on. It was great. Now, was the end great? Nope, not great. Texas on the 1 yard line with a full set of downs. Run it in? Nope. Run it in? Nope. Run it in? Nope. Weird attempt at a pass? Nope. Got stopped on the 1, and that would have won it. And it was just, couldn't push it through. Texas scores with they takes the lead with like a minute, 2 minutes left. And then I forget Oklahoma's quarterback name, Gabriel something.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just skewers the Texas D. They were winded at that point. And that last drive took all of, like they had Texas time on the clock left to try to come back. They couldn't do it. But this was a great game. This game, Jason Kirk from the Shutdown Fullcast did an article back when he worked for a college football website that talked about the most chaotic rivalry games. Red River is the most chaotic. Everyone else is playing for second. Mm-hmm. The atmosphere of this game is amazing. Getting to watch folks like Lucy and Roger Sherman and all those guys eat all the fried foods. Getting to watch ESPN people with a giant fucking big text like dancing around in the background behind them. It was all just... The State Fair is one of those great neutral site games that feels organic just because of what it is. I think the only way I can think of it in my head, it feels the same way maybe, is a couple of the games in Charlotte and then the game in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's the cocktail party, right. I think is the best example of this.
It's a very more organic like this, but this one is just... This was, both teams are very good. Oklahoma has the inside track now. That's fine. These two teams will probably be meeting again in the championship game. This was just a hell of a lot of fun of a football game. Hook 'em horns. Fuck it. I wasn't nearly as sad about this one at the end as I thought I was going to be. The episode of King of the Hill where they go to the Big 12 championship game is one of my favorites. And one of my favorite quotes from that game, let me find it, is Bob, because Texas loses the game to Nebraska, the Big 12 championship game. And Bobby goes, "Is it okay that I don't feel like I want to live anymore?" And Hank goes, "Yes, Bobby, that's normal." And that right there is just perfect. The whole episode's great. So yeah, that's all I got.
This game is impressively stupid, and I really enjoyed that as a neutral observer. Thank you for being dumb, Red River.
It was a perfect. When people say that like this is too mainstream to be sickos, like this is the best part, but that's the thing, right? Is that there's a game. Sometimes there's games that are like the powerhouses play each other, and it is this chess match of great football. This just started stupid and went downhill from there, and that's what this game needs to be.
There are plenty of high-profile games where if you're watching the ESPN synopsis of it, they'll be like, "Well, it was an ugly game, but," and our view on that is, yeah, like, and our view of that is like, "It was an ugly game, great."
Yeah, we don't mind. We don't mind at all.
No, that's a selling point.
Yes, like let's do something weird. Do something off schedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a weird fumble. Have a safety. Just have a punt blocked. I mean, just something wild. I mean, just and Red River does it all the time. It does it all the time. I know it's like two huge name brand teams, but still, like when two huge name brand teams get together, weird things can happen. See the Iron Bowl. See LSU Auburn. I mean, there's a lot of Auburn involved in this, but Miami, Florida State back in the day with the kicks going wide right and whatnot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's some games that can get a little haywire just from the nature of the two teams, and just because it's big brands doesn't necessarily mean it's not sickos. Because again, we watch it all. I'm watching everything. I let Jordan talk about this one because he's big Texas fan over here, and I didn't let him end the podcast with hook him and maybe since that delay, and then I told him no at the end of our last podcast.
That was it.
It made Oklahoma win at the very last moment. So I don't know. Oklahoma fans, if you want to thank me, you can. Texas fans, you want to be mad at me, I'm sorry. There's horns and they're pointing a certain direction at this point.
The best, Matt Brown from Extra Points had the best quote, because I took a screenshot of the Texas band during the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah,
their trombone line didn't have great horn angles.
No,
very accurate.
Would you say that the horns were down?
Exactly what Matt Brown said. And Matt,
yep.
This is the only game of the year that I get really stupid like this about. Like, this is the one, except starting next year, because I have the same vibe about Texas A&M. So I'm going to get two of those next year. You guys get to hear me deal with this twice. This is the only game I single screen for good reason.
I let you deal with that one. I was watching other stuff.
Let me do some plugs first.
Yeah.
We have our Patreon and Discord for $5 a month. You get to join in our weekly ratings debate, chat with us during the games, send us all the weird stuff that you find on the internet, because we only catch so much. We need your help too to find even more things.
Yeah.
If you're subscribed to our Patreon, you also get access to our paywall Substack posts as we do more of those. We have our merch store at sickoscommittee.org. We've added some new stuff going forward. We have our 70s stickers. We've got our orange and dark blue diamond shirts, Sickos Committee shirts. I'm going to see. I want to make like a Waffle House design, but I'm not sure if Waffle House is going to see the shit out of us if I put it in black and yellow. We'll see what happens. I got to look up to see if I can do that.
Yeah. I'm in the process.
Make it look vaguely like Scrabble tiles so we can be sued by everyone.
Make it like a different shape. Make it like a rhombus that looks like or maybe a parallelogram, whatever.
Yeah. Rhomboid house.
But cube house.
Rectangle
cubic house.
Hypocycloid house.
Oh, we have a weather service hoodie now.
We do. We have a weather service hoodie. I did create that. I'm also in the process of making some Sickos Committee basketball merch. We do have a licensed basketball guy, Sickos guy or person, whatever. And they're on the mugs. There's some stickers. I'm trying to get some time to work and put the basketball guy on some hoodies. I think I just did a shirt, but I'm in the process of some long sleeves, some hoodies, and maybe we'll eventually design a one-sided flag. many other things we can throw out there. I was trying to figure out how we can make a puzzle or something like that, but I need a good design for the puzzle because some of the stuff is just like all white on the outside, and that would be really sickos. That the part of the outside.
No, I was just thinking of doing an all white puzzle.
Oh, I can.
No. Take the sicko's face, like the black and white sicko's face, and just like decoupage it everywhere. Just like face. I would do the hell out of that puzzle. I would be very, very excited.
Okay.
This may be the happiest I've ever been on this podcast ever.
Okay. Wow. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like how Jordan and I made the same noise about this puzzle too.
Wow. It'd be a perfect Christmas gift and a stocking stuffer. The sicko stocking stuffers.
Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They were dealing with meltdowns by like all the teams.
Everybody
Miami meltdowns, SC meltdown.
Oh my god. They're busy over there just like us because we're watching all the plays and the games and stuff, and then they're like, okay, something bad happened in this game. Let's go check out the message board.
We have our Substack where we do our recaps every week. And then lastly, as always, we are partnering up with Home Field Apparel. If you find a new shirt that you like or something on their site and it's your first order, use offer code yes, yes. That's 3 ha's for 15% off. And we have our weekly Sicko Shirt Showdown for 25% off a pair of shirts. Last week it was Nebraska, Illinois. This week it is, what do we decide on?
It's Iowa versus Wisconsin.
There we go.
So Iowa is going to have a sweatshirt.
Ooh, a crew neck. They're
going to have a crew neck sweatshirt, which is be 25% off of that. Which, again, I know it may not seem fair to Wisconsin fans, but again, Iowa's our defending national champions. They get a little extra bonus here, bonus love from us and home field. So we're going to throw that one up there. And then there's going to be a very awesome vintage Bucky the Badger shirt. Check it out. Again, 25% off. Anything that is in the collection and the sizes have not run out. You can still get that discount with the code committee. Just check it out. We have so many schools there. We're going to keep adding week to week. I got a message from home field that we may be able to do something kind of crazy and fun for weeks 8 and 9 because they are catching up on getting some stuff shipped out because they've been, again, had a bunch of Black Fridays in August unexpectedly. So they're slowly catching everything. They had a big weekend in the warehouse, and hopefully all the merch that you got from them is heading your way as soon as possible.
Back to the games. LSU 49, Mizzou 39. This was the one that made Commish and I could not tweet this game correctly if we tried. I was like, LSU had been called for disconcerting signals 3 times. Nope, it was 3 times total. I was like, okay, well, they got called twice. Nope, LSU got called once for it. Fuck it, I don't know.
The signals were so disconcerting that they caused you to lose your ability to count, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know, man. This was nuts.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I don't know.
I mean, I see LSU score a touchdown, and I look away and look at another game on the tablet, so I'm not looking at the quad box. So I tweet LSU gets a touchdown, and then I'm like, what the hell? Why is LSU on the 16? What the fuck happened? Is this like, did a 2-point conversion go wrong or something? Then apparently there was a holding, which I didn't see a flag. There was no flag on the graphic. I went ahead and tweeted it. It's just like, whatever, let's go. And I'm like, oh, this is wrong. What? And then they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm like, okay, they made the field goal. And then I'm like, no, actually, no, they missed the field goal. What the fuck? So this game broke my brain. It probably broke all LSU and Mizzou fan brains. It was nuts. LSU's defense, not good. Similar to that USC defense. We got to keep mentioning that USC's defense, not good.
Are you sure?
I mean,
you're sure they're not
again, good? People say we don't talk about it enough. So we got to keep mentioning that every chance we talk about defense. So
Mizzou didn't punt till the second half.
No. And LSU,
they also had a pretty big lead in the first half.
Yeah.
Like 22.
As big as 22-10, I think was the highest it was.
22-7 or 22-10?
22-10.
Okay.
15-7, 22-10.
Yeah. It was, and it's a weird score. The whole game was just a weird score. And then at the end, it's like 49-39, like 42-39. It was, and LSU, their defense makes one play. They get a pick 6 to seal it with like 30 some odd seconds left, which is, I don't know. This game was just weird as hell. We thought it'd be weird as hell. I mean, you have you got a ranked team and you got like an undefeated team again. This is not sickos, right? Right on its face. Look at the record. Oh no, we knew this one. This was in our like top 10 for sure, right? And
the best part is that I no longer have to talk to my kids about a good Mizzou.
I think you do. I think Mizzou is still pretty good.
That's against my religion.
Okay.
And I choose to homeschool my child for a reason.
He's just going to learn an incorrect and incomplete version from somebody else when you can't control it, but okay.
That's what happens. When you hear about Mizzou on the streets.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I mean, when your kid comes home and you find out that he's been experimenting with good Mizzou, you only have yourself to blame.
When your kid comes home wearing a Columbia jacket, you have only yourself to blame.
Rip it up. No child of mine.
Thank you. Dad, I learned it from you. The Columbia jacket. Stupid. Brian Kelly, thank you for that sound. I mean, sometimes I feel like our jokes are just as bad, so I can empathize with Brian Kelly.
Oh, yeah, this one. RG3 had the best quote, said Jaden Daniels had more moves than a military family, which RG3 is just fucking fire.
RG3 is never not on his bullshit, and I really appreciate that about him.
He's got huge poster energy, and like I just love it.
Yeah.
Rice 31, UConn 38. Fuck.
This game was fun as hell, man.
I think it was because UConn saw the Rice pregame graphic and took it personally. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you can see it in the chat. It's amazing.
I love this graphic so much.
It is the most murder bird of all murder bird graphics. Like
the little like swoosh marks for his head turning around is my favorite thing.
Behold, we took an owl, we made it into a white walker, and it's about to murder a puppy.
Glory to the 40-foot owl.
Yeah, no shit.
I love this is so Bohemian Grove that we should make our own Bohemian Grove.
A couple years ago, Rice was selling like either Rice or Temple were like selling like leftover football stuff. There was an inflatable 40-foot owl, and it was a running gag between me and some of my friends that we were going to buy it and build our own Bohemian Grove.
Beth is looking at Bohemian Grove for the first time right now, and I cannot wait for her to like go down this rabbit hole.
Oh, listener, I highly encourage you to read this Wikipedia article.
Yeah, you guys have to go read the Bohemian Grove article. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Beth has gone through like 5 or 6 different facial expressions in the last 30 seconds.
It's so good. Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Whenever you read about this is the first. It's so like fraternity boy grown up bullshit.
Yes.
Like we're gonna have our secret society.
This is West Coast Skull and Bones.
Where we worship the owl. Rice is still. Commish, I agree with you here though. Rice is still zesty. Like Rice is still good. This was a good bounce back game for UConn. I still like Rice a lot. I still like Daniels a lot.
Right, Rice was up 14-0.
All right, I have to leave that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna go down.
So
I got to the Manhattan Project, and I'm like, all right, I'm aboard.
Yeah.
Was that in Oppenheimer? I never saw it.
It is not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Lame.
no, is it?
I still need to see that movie.
You should go see it. It's a long movie. I don't think they go to Bohemian Grove.
If I had made that movie, the giant fucking owl would have been there. Yes, Commish.
So I'm just saying, like Rice was up 14-0, and then UConn scored 28 unanswered. Rice basically they fumbled, and UConn got the ball on the 2, touchdown, and then Rice got the ball back. Next play, fumble return for a touchdown. It's 14-13 because UConn had their PIT blocked again, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't seem to matter. UConn rolled 28 unanswered. Rice fought back a little bit, but Rice was just playing that catch-up game that they could never catch up. And those 2 back-to-back fumbles and touchdowns for UConn, and they started rolling. So congrats to UConn. First win of the season. Shout out Huskies.
Yay.
Utah State 44, Colorado State 24. Colorado State fans were real mad about this because they were up 17-0 and then it just evaporated.
They were up 17-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah. Colorado State scored like real fast. It was boom, boom, boom.
And it was just 38 unanswered or like 37 unanswered for
Something
Utah
like that.
State. It was just like, they had their PIT block. So 37, a lot of, you try to tweet and you're like, do you want to assume the PAT is going to be good, or do you want to wait like a split second? And sometimes
Gotta wait. You gotta wait.
You gotta wait. And so maybe that's what my problem was with the LSU Mizzou game, because I was jumping the gun because they were scoring so fast. But yeah, I don't know. Like, Utah State has this weird comeback gear. Like, they get down big, and then there's just like, oh yeah, and they got down big to like Air Force, and they came back and made it somewhat of a game at the end. They were finally able to stop them. Again, with like James Madison, they were way down, and they tied it back at like 38-38. I don't know what's up with Utah State, but I mean, they're just maybe slow starters, and then once they get rolling, you cannot stop them.
On the CW, NC State 48, Marshall 41. This, I can't. This goes against my acquired West Virginia fandom, because Beth has given that to me, much like one gives someone
syphilis.
Herpes.
You
say
said
herpes.
it, not me.
I was gonna say herpes. No, Pitt's the syphilis. West Virginia's the herpes. I have both now. I have to tell people that whenever I find a new partner, I tell them, by the way, I also enjoy Pitt football and West Virginia football.
Look on Commish's face.
As long as everyone knows and you're safe, you're fine. But otherwise,
okay.
This NC State just like, oh god,
West Virginia fandom. What's that burning sensation?
It's the moonshine.
The moonshine. It's the moonshine on a couch. Are my genitals burning, or am I on a burning couch? I'm not sure.
Sure.
This, yeah, man, Marshall was in this the whole time, and I just, oh god, it made me sad.
It is sad. NC State has been fucking around with its out-of-conference schedule, but it managed not to find out, and that's a little disappointing.
I was fine with it. It was fine.
It was. I can't remember the halftime score, but I quote tweeted the CW, and I put a supernatural thriller on the CW, and then the CW
They retweeted us.
They retweeted us, and then they replied to us and like gave us like the handshake emoji. I was like, "Thank you, CW. We love you." So
CW, let us do your football tweets.
yeah, I mean, Sickos takes over the CW football.
I do like that they make their dudes wear polos and not like full suits. It looks a little more casual and comfortable.
Right.
They didn't have the sheet this week, so
I mean, it's casual work day for ACC football.
I actually need to see if they make the women wear polos too, Beth. I have a feeling they do.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember the sideline reporters for the ones, but I never thought about it. They didn't have anybody walk in the background, which was nice.
Yeah.
There is no good polo.
They're getting better.
There is no such thing.
Is there a women's cut polo? Does that exist?
There is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Hard disagree.
As a boxier individual, polos work well for me. What can I say? UTSA 49, Temple 34. I thought UTSA was going to fuck around and find out on this one. Speaking of fuck around and finding out, UTSA was not looking real strong to start with. They came back. Frank Harris is back, which is great. On a weekend that was very bad for the state of Texas.
Yeah.
This was the nice part.
Yeah,
They just got a W for the state of Texas.
I mean,
Yes.
only really San Antonio was winning for the state of Texas. UIW got a win. UTSA got a win. So shout out San Antonio getting wins. I think Texas A&M Commerce got a win too, right?
They did,
Yeah.
but that's not San Antonio.
But I mean, it's still Texas. But
I actually want to see, hold up, Trinity G3 San Antonio football.
the Trinity, the one that had all the crazy laterals like many years ago.
Trinity's been playing really well. They were ranked as a little while ago. Let's see. Yes, they're number 6, and let's see here. They won 31-3 over someplace called Center.
I mean, again, San Antonio, the center of the San Antonio, the Texas football world, undefeated San Antonio, all the schools there. Shout out this week.
Iowa State 27, TCU 14. TCU, you are down bad, but Iowa, I love the Jack Trice uniforms.
Iowa State,
we do need to talk about the pants.
No, we don't.
What do we need to talk about,
What?
Jordan?
Yeah, what pants?
What pants?
I wasn't aware there were pants.
I don't know how much more flesh color you can get. I don't know what it was about these, especially when they were walking,
Yeah.
just like the socks and the pants.
Mhm.
It looked like they were Porky Pig in it, y'all.
Or the guys with the long t-shirt hanging out from under their jersey, like number 49 in this picture, looks
Yeah.
very much like he's wearing tidy whities and knee-high
Yes!
socks and shoes.
Yeah. It's
I got a TikTok about this morning. It has broken college football internet contain.
Look at the cams on him.
They're
These are
awesome.
great uniforms.
They're awesome. They're for Jack Trice, which I mean, it's a great uniform honoring.
Arthur asked if this looked like in person or only on TV. I think this was just on TV. They looked this bad in person.
Yeah,
I don't think they looked as bad.
I think the lights were really messing with them.
Yeah, I think they're like that kind of like material where it's kind of slightly shiny.
Yeah,
And then with the lights and stuff, it just makes it look like they're wearing the same like pantyhose that Taylor Swift wears that makes her legs look all shiny.
Now, Commish, what was halftime for this game?
it was the best. It was just play the video if you haven't seen it, Beth or Pitt Girl.
I have not.
Oh my
but
God.
I'm really excited.
Play the video.
now.
Yeah,
we
just-
can cut
yeah,
it
just like-
later. We can cut it later.
Yeah,
but
let me
just
put it
we
in.
can cut and then just play the video. I just linked the tweet in there, but
Okay,
it was phenomenal.
Oh my god, the skeleton one!
Yeah, and so Petros is having a blast. Yeah,
Of course. Yeah, like absolutely. Just live it.
I wanna give a shout out to
God, that's wonderful.
our corn correspondent who did some writing for this game, and we do the crazy like assonance. Assonance are like alliteration for the titles on our synopsis. The headline that he did for this game is phenomenal, so I just want to give him a shout out for it. It's Cretaceous creatures clash between Texas Christians and cyclones.
Oh, that's
Love it.
beautiful.
That's wonderful
It's
work.
phenomenal. I've just phenomenal work, and subscribe to the Substack. It's partially free for these, and then like half free, half paid. But we had a lot of fun doing this stuff with just a lot of alliteration, just a blast.
UNC 40, Syracuse 7. Oh God, I just want to.
Syracuse did not have enough orange to counterbalance the blue of the Tar Heels. They needed some orange pants, an orange helmet. You just were not enough orange, and that's what I'm blaming it on. You needed more
Draw a
orange.
chalk outline over
You need
auto
more
orange.
orange. Yeah.
God,
He's juiced now. He has been juiced.
it's okay because I'm sure UNC doesn't have someone coming up on their schedule that they're absolutely going to rip through as well.
We'll talk about the punter, right?
Yeah, no, I watched this play live.
Same.
So Syracuse punted. I can't
Blunted.
talk. Syracuse
Nightmare blunt rotation. Syracuse
Yeah.
UNC.
Syracuse blocked a punt, and the punter, it went like straight back at the punter, and he picked it up and ran it back for a first down. Though I think he was a little bit short, and he got like lit up when he ran it back too. So the play went to review and whatever, but he got the first down. He did an admirable job, like hero punter shit. There's a picture in the show notes. Also, his face mask got like crunched in.
Yeah.
Because the
Jesus.
Syracuse guy who hit him like really laid the
Wowzers.
wood.
Yeah.
Like,
It was.
score one for this punter.
Yeah, the punter got the first down, which again, very generous spot. He appeared to be short.
Rule of cool.
Yeah, really
I'll
cool.
give him the rule
It
of
was
cool.
very cool.
Yeah, this hit on the punter reminded me of the one from the NFL and the Pro Bowl that I believe it was Brian Moorman, the punter for the Bills, got like laid out by rest in peace, Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowl. It reminded me of that hit. It was that incredible of a hit, and whatever the refs rule, it's ACC refs, but it was that much of a hit, just incredible. And then the face mask just being dented. You got to be kidding me. I hope he's okay.
Miami, Ohio 27, Bowling Green 0. Best part about this game is now we have a transitive circle that is very funny because Georgia Tech beat Miami, Florida, who beat Miami, Ohio, who beat Bowling Green, who beat Georgia Tech.
I spoke it into existence last week. You're welcome.
You did. You absolutely did.
He did.
I did not expect this to be a shutout. There have only been, I think, 6 or 7 shutouts this whole season.
Yeah.
And, UCLA 25, Wazoo 17. Hey, girl,
Sure.
did you write UCLA defense good?
I did.
Chip Kelly defensive mastermind? I thought, Okay.
That was
I
me.
just wanted to make sure it wasn't Pitt
That was
Girl.
me.
Why would I write that?
I don't know. Maybe you got you were like, maybe this Chip Kelly guy has this figured out. UCLA's defense is good, and that is a weird thing for me.
Yeah, they're good. And they have to be because they're working with like a freshman QB on offense. So they're flying everywhere. They're all over Wazoo. Wazoo got like a pick six, which was like thrown right into their stomach, which was great. And Wazoo was up early, but like they could not sustain any sort of drive against UCLA. It's classic Pac-12. Just here we go. Start knocking each other off. Let's go.
So is it time to form USCLA?
I'm going to make that graphic now because that'll really annoy people.
Please do.
Cam Ward threw his first interception of the year in this game. He made it almost all the way.
He's got a long way to go if he wants to climb in the Detmer.
Let me tell you. Ole Miss 27, Arkansas 20. That was just a typical like weird Arkansas Ole Miss game. It was fun. It was on like my fourth screen. I didn't watch it too carefully. Then Navy 27, UNT 24. I saw 0 this game. This score does not surprise me in the least. North Texas is just weirdly snake bitten. Always will be. Planga 41, Western Michigan 28. Western Michigan was down big early and tried to climb back into this game several times.
Yeah.
Like really, really hung with it. Like got beat out, but was enjoyable. Wisconsin 24, Rutgers 13. Did you guys see the ball hit?
Yeah. That's it.
I showed obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend the point of view shot of this.
Here we go.
Oh no.
This is I believe that is Rutgers. He rolls out, throws, it bounces on the ground, and boom.
Oh no.
Right into the jewels of the guy. Now, we have a first-person view of this.
Oh no. You've commemorated your own demise.
I mean, you gotta laugh at this point.
Oh,
I mean, because
yeah.
everybody, this is going viral for sure.
Oh, the dude was talking about this was. Let me find his name.
I think it's Ethan Bacon.
Ethan Bacon, and Ethan was great because Ethan, like once he found out this has gone viral, was just like, "I'm great. Here's the camera I use in case any of you gearheads are interested." So this is like, look at the quality of his camera, by the way.
It looks great.
Great. Rolls out. The shot right here of the ball going right at him is beautiful. Oh, it's so good.
It's coming.
It's coming. Oh no, it's slow-mo and it's so wonderful. It's so
Oh no.
bonk.
The ball like lands right next to him too.
Oh,
When do you think he realized that the ball was going to hit him?
I don't think he did because he was looking through the lens.
Yeah.
I think it took him off because right here, it's great also because you can see someone come by and grab the ball first. He's still on the ground. His camera, he was great about laying his camera down very gently, but like, yeah, it was, that was great. God bless. 10 out of 10.
The worst kind of taps.
He said 45 minutes later, he felt okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he's okay.
Toledo 41, UMass 24. Did find out that UMass has a turnover tri-corner hat, I believe.
Yes. The Paul Revere.
And so I have chowder in the house now.
Oh,
I'm going to eat it on Tuesday.
Okay.
The jinx will be broken.
You better. Still, again,
I did pass the clam juice.
All UMass fans, they keep losing, and the longer this goes on, you need to yell at Jordan inside of this. It's Jordan's fault. So he needs to break the jinx, and he's been delaying the clam chowder, which, I mean, UMass was fighting with Toledo, and then
they were surprised. It was surprisingly close for a while. Toledo pulled away, but
yeah,
like Toledo being one of my darling teams this year, I feel like they should have had UMass put away way earlier than they did. We have Buffalo 37, Central Michigan 13. This weekend in our Discord, I get a little bloop, and it's Commish going, "Oh, just mild buffalo, huh? Huh, Jordan? It's just mild buffalo. Oh, this is honey garlic buffalo, huh? Okay, this is ginger sesame buffalo. It's a little heat. Ginger's spicy for some people.
I mean, again, I was
sweet Thai chili buffalo.
Yeah, sweet Thai chili.
I mean, they're not super spicy, but they got a little kick. they'll build eventually. And I mean, they took it to the chips.
Hold up, I'm looking at the Buffalo Wild Wing sauce list. Hold up.
It's in the medium, like Asian Zing or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, okay, not Parmesan garlic, not jalapeno, not Asian. No, we're down at. Yeah, maybe Asian Zing. This is an Asian Zing. UAB 56, South Florida 35. I don't even know what to do with this information.
No, me either. I watched part of this game.
I watched.
My main takeaway is that the uniforms look like we have Oregon at home, and I don't like them.
I will drop that in the chat.
I mean, that was a big surprise. I don't know. I don't know what happened with the USF. When they scored a touchdown in the first drive, that's fine. Touchdown, whatever. They throw an interception, UAB touchdown. Then in one play, South Florida fumbles. UAB's up 21-7, and that was pretty much it. South Florida was trying to fight, but it was 35-14 at halftime. I was watching when it was like 7-7. I had it on because the uniform was weird because it kind of looked like South Florida looked like UAB's old uniforms, the old away uniforms. Yeah,
I hadn't seen these.
And then UAB's uniforms, it felt like XFL-y, like XFL or maybe like a little bit arena football league-y.
Someone said they looked XFL-y, and I was like, that's not, is that really? I'm torn between that feels like an insult, and well, that's not incorrect.
Yeah,
it's the gray. It's the neon on gray. That's
the neon yellow on just the lightest gray possible is weird, but it worked for them. They may have to keep wearing them.
Oh, I hope guys, not though, because they're ugly.
Check out their locker room. I'm putting the picture in the thread right now.
Oh,
they have a giant. They have the giant fucking blazer on the ceiling, and it's amazing.
That I like.
Yep, I love this.
I need that for my dining room.
One of those in neon, yeah.
The giant blazer chandelier.
It'll go really well with the 40-foot owl.
Yeah,
it will.
When we make our own Bohemian Grove, yes.
It's Shreveport, Pennsylvania.
Or I could put it right over the grand piano in the music room.
Ooh.
The more I've been watching random people who stream and whatever, I've noticed that streamers always have a neon sign in the background. Mm-hmm. So I definitely need a neon sign for this room for when I start, streaming my Pokemon Nuzlocke.
Neon Sad Husky.
Didn't Lucy have a neon sign in the background? Maybe that's why she hit the big time.
Yeah. Kansas 51, UCF 22. I was like, they announced John Reese Plumlee is back. And he was there for the first drive or two. Apparently what happened is that he's fine, but he heard something pop/crack/tear and panicked because we don't want to do this again. Yes. He got seen by the teen surgeon and trainer, and they think it was just scar tissue that was making that sound. So he's fine. Now, they have a bye week, and then they have to go to Oklahoma.
Have fun with that.
It's fine.
Yeah. Kansas was without Jalen Daniels again, which means that they were riding the Mean Bean Machine. I mean, one of our favorite backups.
No, he was a starter for a year, and he's got some talent. He's a very good
Mean Bean Machine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's a North Texas transfer, baby.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun to watch. He's not as dynamic as Jalen Daniels, but just a great quarterback too.
This turned Kansas into a run the ball down your throats team. I think they ran for 300 something yards, and they kept just telling UCF to stop them, and UCF did not stop them.
Talk to your kids about Service Academy, Kansas.
Love it. More teams need to just rock fight things.
Jordan, thank you so much for putting Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine back in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Game I have not thought about in a very long time.
I love that game so much. Eastern Michigan 24, Ball State 10. Best thing about this was a fumble where they knocked the ball out of a dude's hand so hard it went flying. I'm going to show you guys the video right now. No. They pop the ball out so hard it goes into the hands of an Eastern Michigan player who then doesn't know because he's so shocked by having it in his hands. He panicked. I don't blame him because I don't know what I would have done with that either.
And he was like a big dude.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yes.
lineman who just suddenly and forcibly had the ball visited upon him. He did an admirable job of catching it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then we had our blue dabba dee dabu da game. This was San Jose Boise State 35, San Jose State 27. San Jose State was like ahead for big chunks of this game.
Yeah.
And then Boise just crawled back. Boise was wearing blue, black, blue, and San Jose State was wearing blue, white, blue on the blue turf. I threw a picture in the chat. This was just like
This is visual hell.
People say that Eastern Michigan games are hard to watch, and let's be honest here, I have a taste for it, but I can see how people cannot watch those games. This to me was like, I cannot keep track of who's on the field.
This looked like two teams that showed up in the exact same outfits and were like, well, somebody has to change.
Yep. And just flat out refused.
Somebody changed the shirt. That was it. But I don't think San Jose State's ever won in Boise. I want to verify that.
Let me keep talking. I'll find
if
it.
you want to do the Wikipedia, but San Jose State was taking it to Boise. It was like 7-0, 14-0, 17-0. Then it was 17-7, then 27, then 27-7. San Jose State's up. Boise gets a touchdown run with 42 seconds left in the first half, and it's 27-14 at halftime. San Jose State did not score for the rest of the game. That was it. Yeah. They sat on 27. They could not get anything going in the second half, which is, I don't know if this is something new or nobody tracks this, but it's just weird. Like how many people get blanked in the second half. Like it's just, I don't know if that's like a stat or something, but it's just.
I'm seeing that Boise State has only lost to San Jose State once ever, and it was a neutral site game.
It was the COVID year Mountain West Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
played on December 20th.
So yeah, they're 14-1.
So the only time that San Jose State has ever beaten Boise, neutral site for the Mountain West title, which is if that's your only win, that's a memorable one.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State 52, Cal 40. The turnover chainsaw came out so many times that it was ridiculous.
So great. They just kept posting the video of it, and then I was just so thrilled that it makes noise. Like you can hear like the chainsaw noise. There's no chain on it, I believe. I would hope. But it's just like
seems like a safety issue.
Yeah, but it makes like the revving noise, and so like they kept hitting it. I was like, this is great. We saw it a lot. Cal was probably like, no, I don't. I'm tired of seeing this, but this was 35-32 at one point.
Yes.
Oregon State
it was like, very close.
Scored it to make it further away, but this was, if this one was on like FS1 or something instead of the Pac-12 network, this one was a wild one and a lot of fun. Shout out to the Beavs and the Bears. Fun Pac-12 action.
I mean, another one that got buried on the Pac-12 network that was super close. Colorado 27, Arizona State 24. Colorado State squeaked this one out.
Colorado.
Oh, it's Colorado. Sorry. Arizona State. Thank you. And no one saw it because it was on the Pac-12 network. You know what we did see, though, was USC 43, Arizona 41 in 3 overtimes.
We did.
I did not see the end of it because I passed out before it got stupid.
Oh, so, that makes me sad for you.
I know. I went and watched the end of it. I had it on YouTube TV, so I went and rewatched it this morning.
Yeah, I was awake for the end of this game because I am an overgrown teenager and make bad decisions. But it was very well worth staying up to watch the end of this game because, man, USC's defense is really bad. They missed a field goal. Arizona missed a field goal. It was, oh my gosh, it was wild. The missed USC field goal at the end of regulation, though, is like, they didn't take the football away like Charlie Brown, like Lucy taking the football away from Charlie Brown, but it had that energy.
It did. It was. So I stayed up to the end of this one, and I am absolutely dead tired today. Like I am wiped. I got woken up by the kiddos early this morning, but I am absolutely wiped. I stayed up for the rest of this game, and the only problem is like USC's driving. I'm like, okay, USC's going to win this game. And they're driving at the end. I'm like, USC's going to win it. So let me pop some melatonin. I took my ZZ gummies, and then when USC crossed the 50, I was like, oh, this is over. It's done. They're gonna score a touchdown. It's done. So I took my melatonin. Shout out ZZ Quills. Please sponsor us because after crazy amounts of football, it's hard to sleep, and you help a lot. But so I took this, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot go to bed right now. It's going to overtime. The 25-yarder. I'm gonna give a shout out to the holder because the snap was high. And if the holder
was squatting to get it down,
no, if the holder did not jump up to catch that snap, it is over his head for sure. And then Arizona maybe takes it back for a touchdown. So shout out to the USC holder for just catching the snap. And then he tried to squat and hold, and he got it down, but the kicker was already on the way, and so the kicker had to stop, and then did a little pump fake and just barely tapped the ball. It was such a mess. It went to OT. Again, a lot of points scored because I believe USC's defense not that great. Not that great of one. They gave up a lot of points, and Arizona had their backup quarterback, and then
he was good.
It was good. He was good, mobile, a little feisty. Could run, nice arm. I think he would want to have that 2-point conversion pass back, because if you'd have led the wide receiver open a little bit more in the third OT, they would have hit it. They would have hit that, and they probably would go in the fourth OT, and me fighting melatonin in the sleep. Would not have been as hard. Jedfish didn't know the OT rules. So after the second OT, he sends the kick team out to kick the extra point. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You have to go for 2. And so I don't know if anybody asked Jed after the game and was like, hey, would this change your mind? Would you have gone for 2 at the end of the first OT? Which I don't understand why none of these coaches are doing this. Do they not realize that once you get to the second OT, you have to go for 2? Mm-hmm. If you are the team that scores the touchdown and you have a chance to tie the second team going in OT, go for 2 and for the win. That's it. You don't have to go to any more OTs. You either win or lose. You control your fate, essentially. And go for it there. And Jedfish didn't know.
Also, if you're Arizona, I get USC's defense sucks, but at the same time, I'm not sure that I want to be in 15 2-point conversion overtimes with USC, right?
Nope.
So you take your shot. You either die, you win, or you die a legend. I don't really get why he didn't go for 2 there. I'm not a football coach, but I would have.
I yelled at him on the Twitter. Go for 2, Jedfish. He didn't listen. He didn't see my tweet. So I tried, Arizona fans. USC's defense, not good. They're potentially their Achilles heel. I feel like their defense is a lot of feast or famine. There's a lot of famine. They have to send a lot of pressure at you. If they do not get you with any pressure, they are in trouble. So if you can survive the blitz or get out of the pocket, whatever, do what you want. And it's likely going to bite them at some point in time. We don't know who. I know everybody's like, Utah's going to get them. Anybody on the schedule can get them because, who knows? Because USC's defense, as you say, laugh out loud, so quirky. USC's defense, not good.
Really just chapped your ass.
I did. I'm like, what do I have to, I tweeted, I was like, oh my God, USC got a 3 and out and they forced a punt. Is that fun? I don't know.
No, Pitt Girl and I were in complete agreement, drag their asses.
Oh no, I found that especially funny because I saw the thread and immediately assumed it was Jordan. And it is very, very funny. To see that someone got you good enough that you started
because I'm the one that would do that. That's me.
Exactly.
It's so me.
It got me, and I was just with the poll stuff, and with we're getting there's one dude yelled at us on Friday night there was no score in the second half of Nebraska to Illinois. You like that, don't you? You like that? You're a sicko. And I'm like,
don't kink shame.
And I'm like,
don't yuck my yum.
I just replied back. I was like, well, actually, there was a field goal in the second half. And then I said, yes. Thank you. It's just, I don't know. It just seemed like everybody was really upset this weekend. They're all up in their feelings and just all upset. And it's just you're going to take it out on the committee? That's fine. And I mean, it's okay. We're quirky. Laugh out loud.
So quirky.
Laugh out loud.
Raging Cajuns 34, Texas State 30. Texas State blew it at the end. They were up 20-7 at one point, and this pain. Fumble in the last drive that sealed it.
Yep.
Troy 37, Arkansas State 3. Butch may not have this together.
Dude, Troy just suffocated.
What makes you think that? Why could you possibly think that?
Why would I possibly think that?
I don't know. They won 3 in a row. They were infused with the power of 2 wolves. So I guess it only lasts 3 games. But Troy's defense, really good. Suffocated Arkansas State, the quarterback who threw 6 TDs last week. None this week. So
Florida 38, Vandy 14. Break the streak, Florida. Congratulations.
good job. There was one play that the vaunted Vandy offense had an 85-yard touchdown, and I have never seen like a cornerback just like give up on a play as much as I did in that game. Let me see if I can find it, because like he thought the wide receiver was going to go out of bounds, and he didn't, and then he just started running, and the cornerback was like, "I'm not going to catch him." I'm just going to search vaunted Vandy offense, because that was definitely in the tweet. Yeah. Oh wow, got almost 1,000 likes. Lovely. They're like, this quarterback didn't do anything here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Bye.
Yep. Just completely gave up on that play.
You're just like,
Alas.
I am beat. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm not running after this guy.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. It's like,
FAU 20, Tulsa
hold on. We
17.
forgot
Oh, sorry.
the Vandy part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shout out to the punter, Matthew Hayball, punter for Vandy, the only player in NCAA football to pass 11,000 punt yards for a career.
Woo!
That's pretty impressive.
It's a lot of yards.
We need to do like a special graphic for this, for Mr. Hayball. We definitely need to do one.
So, FAU 20, Tulsa 17. I saw none of this game.
My God, it was in a monsoon. Puddles on the field. They kept cutting to the stands. The students in the stands weren't going anywhere. They were soaked. It was ridiculous. Tulsa gets a touchdown to make it 2017. They try to get an onside kick at the end. They just could not recover it, and FAU survives. But, like, just the absolute monsoon in Boca without, like, a lightning delay or anything like that was pretty incredible. And the shots of all the students just absolutely soaked, none of them with ponchos or, umbrellas or anything like that. It was some fun viewing and a lot of sliding everywhere. Just a blast.
Hey, girl, do you want to say your fact?
I do. So I did the math real quick. The Vandy punter has punted 6.25 miles in his NCAA career. That's really far.
Hey, guys, you're going to want to look in the chat real fast.
What is that?
Ah!
That's
Oh
Alex
God,
Grinch
that's Alex Grinch. Oh, I hate
superimposed
it.
on the Grinch himself.
Oh,
I hate
God,
it.
no.
Nope.
I'll be posting that later.
Gonna need to scrub my eyes.
Can you do a content warning on that one?
Yes. Oh, in the chat? Yes,
No,
I can.
no, in the chat and then on Twitter. So again, if you post that on Twitter,
Yes, I will, which I'm going
warning.
to.
I'm like, hey, I did this thing about USC's defensive coordinator.
I did this.
And look if you dare. And yeah, that's up to you. So
Wyoming 24, Fresno State 19. This game was a banger.
oh yeah.
Wyoming wins like at the very end. Got a field rush. It was so good.
And a big dude like returning the ball. He didn't get a touchdown, but he had the ball.
Mm-hmm.
South Alabama 55, ULM 7. Yeah, this one. It was just.
At least you had time to mentally and emotionally prepare, Commish.
Yeah. ULM did not stop South Alabama the entire game. So my dad texted me on this one. And this is what he said. ULM, tough loss. And so I replied with the tweet of South Alabama's offensive drives that night. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Missed field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. So the only reason that ULM stopped South Alabama is because they missed a field goal. And so I sent that tweet to him, and he just responded, well documented.
Bravo, sir.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Well documented. Bravo.
We will give you a grade of complete.
Bravo, committee. You sir. So I guess I've lost my bet. So Mobile is the true home of Mardi Gras. I know the rest of the city in New Orleans doesn't think this way. I have to apparently think this way. One thing I just wanted to say that Mobile was the capital of Louisiana at some point. So Mardi Gras is still a Louisiana holiday. So take that, Mobile.
Mobile, Louisiana.
When it was still Louisiana territory, Mobile was the capital of Louisiana. So again, Mardi Gras is still a Louisiana property. Ha
Haha.
ha.
Next up, Ohio 42, Kent State 17. We had Florida State 39, Virginia Tech 17. Louisville 33, Notre Dame 20.
Who boy?
Louisville. This snapped Notre Dame's like 30-plus game ACC win streak.
30-game ACC win streak. Snap.
Regular season win streak, yes.
That's right.
And it didn't feel quite that close, to be honest.
It really did not. No, somebody finally watched the 2021 ACC championship game tape and realized that Sam Hartman really doesn't like being under pressure.
He had his first, second, and I believe third picks of the season in this game. Yeah. Michigan 52, Minnesota 10. All I got to say is
Jug. Not close.
Jug.
Can we put in like some jug noise? Like,
Beth, where's your musical jug?
Where's the musical jug? Do you not have one?
Do you not have a musical jug nearby, Beth?
Panic.
No.
Panic.
Ah,
I just hope Michigan
I'm
is
stuck
having...
under the cat. I can't help.
I just hope Michigan is having a fun time turning all these teams into paste. It doesn't seem fun, but I hope they're having fun.
Minnesota got fresh air. Exercise.
Yeah. Everybody got fresh air and exercise.
We have Bama 26, A&M 20. We did get a safety dance in this one.
We did.
And Nick Saban is going to kill someone because there were so many penalties in this game and more that could have been called.
Like procedural stupid penalties. Like 2 or 3 consecutive false starts at one point. Just
Who typed in this that Jalen Milroe is Bama's Bo Nix? Who
that would be me. That would be me.
Nice.
Tell me I'm wrong. Friend of the show, Catherine B, also thinks Jalen Milroe is Bama's Bo Nix. For the record.
Good God.
You got good Jalen and bad Jalen, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Fun FCS stuff. Western Illinois, our Leatherneck Lookout. They did not get their first win of the year this week. They were taken down by North Dakota 49-10. The Sycamores of Indiana State did not get one as well. They lost 27-20 to Northern Iowa, cut it close.
Yep.
Rhode Island wins the Governor's Cup.
We kind of talked about it
Brown.
earlier.
Yep.
It was on the quad box. I normally pick like a random FCS game, and this one had a trophy. So it's the Governor's Cup. I'm like, oh yeah, you're on the screen. Get on the quad box. Let's go. You guys are playing for a trophy. Let's go. And it lived up. It was amazing. So amazing.
We talked about the Black Bears losing to Richmond with their flea flicker as well. Youngstown State bodied Southern Illinois, the Fancy Dogs of the Salukis, 31-3, a week after the disappointing loss to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
D3 Susquehanna beat Keystone 69-0. Nice. And the Lafayette Leopards are coming alive.
Yeah. They're 5-0.
After being one of the worst teams in the Patriot League last year.
So
they beat. Go ahead.
I just want to say they're 5-0 in FCS. The FBS one doesn't count. They got killed by Duke. But they're 5-0 in FCS, and the Leopards, shout out to their 1896 national title.
Before we get to Clock Commander, we need to talk about what Teal College did this weekend. I threw some stats in the chat. They played Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon beat them 80-22.
Boy.
Okay.
Beth, I'm sorry.
None in a row.
Now Carnegie Mellon is very good. They're 5-1.
Teal was Teal.
This game was 37-15 at the half. And Carnegie Mellon scored 4 touchdowns directly on Teal turnovers in the second half.
Oh no!
The highlighted ones on that play chart right there are the ones that they did. So you had a blocked punt return, an interception run, a pick six, a fumble recovery return, and another fumble recovery return.
Oh, cats. Oh, no. Oh, why?
Now, best part about this was that Teal had more yards than Carnegie Mellon, 313 to 312. Teal unfortunately had 2 interceptions and 3 fumbles lost.
Not good, Teal. It's all right. Got 2 wins.
You broke math.
Teal.
This was amazing. I'm going to dig more into the play-by-play because this is amazing.
Is there footage of this anywhere? Because I would love to watch.
Oh yeah,
I will.
Yeah, you can watch this stuff if you go to
D.
It's usually on D3 football.
Congrats bowl eligibility to Oklahoma, Georgia, Louisville, Michigan, and USC.
I want to shout out all their hashtags on the bowl season tweets.
Oh yes.
So they're different for each team, but I just want to read all the hashtags on these tweets. So this is the one for Michigan. It says hashtag bowl bound, hashtag bowl season, bowl games, bowl eligible, 6 wins, Michigan football, Michigan Wolverines, go blue, big house, Big Ten, football, game day, reprieve, vapor apparel, recycled fiber, college football, ESPN. Those are all the 17 hashtags on every single one of these tweets, but they're changed a little bit for each team, which is, I don't know why they did so many, but let's go right ahead.
We've got about 7 more minutes to cover Clock Commander, and I don't think we even need to fucking discuss.
Oh no!
I don't think we ever need to discuss the other ones because Miami, Mario Cristobal, you fucked this up so badly.
He did, but I want to talk about it at length because
go
my god,
let's get our emotions out on this.
This is going to live rent free in my brain forever. Oh my god! Final score: Georgia Tech 23, Miami 17. Friend of the show, Stuart Mandel, has a really good description of what happened at the end of this game, so I'm just going to read it, once it loads, because of course I did not have the foresight to open this in advance. But mind you, this game had been spicy the whole time I was watching it. Georgia Tech, we thought they were losing. Georgia Tech got a turnover, and it was just a whole thing throughout the third and fourth quarter. This game was wild. And Twitter is still not loading. Come on.
I got it right here.
Thank you.
Miami led 2017. Georgia Tech was out of timeouts. Miami could have taken the knee on 3rd and 4, and the clock would have run out. Instead, they handed the ball off, and they fumbled. And then Texas A&M transfer Haynes King drives them 74 yards in 26 seconds to win. They actually gave Miami a little too much time because then Miami tried a hook and ladder that looked real silly at the very end.
Yeah.
The win probability chart on this one is so fucked up. It's impossible to look at without just dying laughing.
Yeah, you can see that spot in the third and fourth quarter I was talking about earlier. And then we get to the fourth quarter, and the end of the fourth quarter, and the line just goes up.
Line go up.
Line go up.
This was apparently he'd done this before. With Oregon against Stanford, fucked up a game this exact same way.
Almost exactly the same way. The 2018 Stanford game, they fucked up. Stanford ran the fumble back or something, or was able to convert after the fumble. And then it went to overtime, and they lost to Stanford in overtime.
Was anyone watching this in real time?
I was.
Yes.
I was.
Because I was about to turn this game off.
Yep.
Because I figured it was over. And then I heard Tim Hasselbeck was so agitated about them not taking a knee that I kept watching.
For the only time I'm ever going to say this, thank you, Tim Hasselbeck.
I was watching the whole game. I watched the entire game. It was in the quad box. Tyler Van Dyke, honestly, was trying to give this game away. He threw horrible interceptions, horrible. 2 in the end zone. I believe 2 in the end zone. 1 just right to Georgia Tech defender, not even disguised whatsoever. He almost threw another one in the end zone. And when Miami was going in to tie the game, it was they got ruled at the 3, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to throw another interception. No. So Miami tried to give this game away numerous times. The quarterback did a ton, and just them. I'm on the couch, laying back with the quad box, and I'm like, okay, it's over. Why are they not kneeling? I jumped out of off the couch. I jumped off. Why are they not kneeling this? And then there's a fumble, and I'm like, that may not been a fumble, whatever. They ruled it a fumble on the field, and of course, ACC refs do not overturn this. The Miami defense had already like booked their tables at the clubs because it should have been over. They should have taken a knee. It should have been done. And they trying to go for interceptions to just end the game. They miss one. They overplay it. And then the other one, they all bite on the thing trying to get to the field goal. The wide receiver just like fools 4 Miami players because, again, they're all checked out, which I don't blame them for being checked out because they should have not been on the field. The game was over. Insane. The dormant Miami Hurricanes fan of me, I'm glad it is dormant because if it was still alive, I would be very upset. But I was already kind of dead inside because ULM lost 55-7. So I really didn't have many fandoms like going today, and LSU really like just like broke my brain for the rest of the day. So I was just kind of catatonic watching football for the rest of the day. And this one just kind of sealed it. And I'm not blaming the kids whatsoever. It's all on the coach. Not blame the kids.
Mario Cristobal, you fucked this up so bad.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah, no, this is not at all on the kids. This is on Mario being fucking stupid.
Just,
I don't even know what kind of coach brand this is.
I honestly don't know.
It's anti-Catholic Coach Frank because he refuses to kneel.
I mean, there's not any of those little like knee thingies there. But like somebody noticed that he did it.
Seriously, my dude, just genuflect. It takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, they probably give you credit for the genuflect without kneeling on the ground. They'll probably credit that for you because you kind of gave yourself up. Look, as a committee member, just thrilled this happened. Like, feel like Georgia Tech on an incredible high, stealing this game, ridiculous. When Miami just got to be like heartbroken beyond belief because it was over. They played a horrible game, and then to have it end that way, when they should have basically got out of there with a win. Who do they play next week?
Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, they play UNC.
Oh.
Mario Cristobal, clock commander now.
Yeah.
Clock commander forever.
I think we're going to have to call it the Mario Cristobal Clock Commander of the Week award.
I love it.
Yeah. So
okay, kids.
Before we go and we run out of time, I am going to take a knee here and put my microphone down and just hang it up for the rest of the podcast and walk out with a podcast victory.
Checking yourself before you ramble and wreck yourself.
That's right.